In this video, I want to talk a little bit about Stoicism and some of my personal favorite quotes. I'm going to be discussing 4 of them and my thoughts on what I mean. These quotes are going to be coming from Seneca and Marcus Aurelius, 2 of the biggest people when it comes to Stoicism. So the first quote is, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Seneca once said this, and what I take from this quote is the meaning that we all tend to suffer so much more within our own heads. We tend to overthink things, put fear on ourselves, fear that isn't actually a reality in the real world. Sometimes we have a fear of fear, the feeling that something may happen when there's actually a very, very small chance, still means that you won't do certain things. For example, if you got dropped off in the sea, your mind is telling you that you want to get straight back on that boat because there's a massive jaws shark underneath the ocean who's ready to come up and bite your leg off and pull you under. When the reality is that yes, there are sharks in the ocean, but there's probably not going to be one literally right below you when you get into the ocean. You'll probably be okay for a while. But the slight notion that that could be true kind of makes you panic. You get into fear, you get scared of the unknown. And these are all things that we build up in our own mind and actually may not be our reality. And obviously this is an extreme case of being dropped in the ocean with a shark. But when it comes to our day-to-day life, we're like this with asking our boss for a promotion. We're like this when it comes to asking out that person on a date. It comes to so many little things as well as the big things. And the thing is that all of these small little decisions that we need to make in our day-to-day life to get ahead, we don't take them and we fall behind. Only the people with courage and the boldness to actually step into fear and recognize that these are just thoughts in our head. These are where we suffer in our own mind. Those are the people that actually get ahead. And so it's obviously in our best interest to recognize that we actually do suffer more in our own head, within our imagination, making up these scenarios, than we actually do in reality. Quote number 2, Seneca once said, "Associate with people who are likely to improve you." You may have heard this quote before, something similar to it, such as, "You are the 5 people that you hang around the most," or "Show me your friends and I'll show you your future." These are quotes that we hear time and time again, and from what I believe, this is quite true. I think that the environment that you are in, the people that you hang around, does definitely change your belief system, how you see life, and what you believe that you can get out of it. If you're around a bunch of losers, you're going to be a loser. If you're around a bunch of winners, you're going to become, statistically, I would imagine, much more of a winner. And so with Seneca's quote, all on how to improve yourself is just being by around others, I completely agree with that. And I think that it's something that we should all strive to do. Cut out those friends who are negative, who give you anxiety or stress or make you feel bad or put you down or joke about certain things about what you look like physically or what you can do with your talent or anything like that. If they're putting you down, they're not contributing to your life, they're taking away from you. And so in that situation, the best thing to do is to really cut them out from your life, because it's the only way to truly be free and move forward. My third quote here today is from Marcus Aurelius, and he says, "Your principles can't be extinguished unless you snuff out the thoughts that feed them, for it's continually in your power to reignite new ones. It's possible to start living again. See things anew as you once did. This is how to restart life." So the thing that I take from Marcus Aurelius's quote here is that we all have our own principles and values, our own foundation and structure within our personality that allows us to be driven and focused and care about specific things. And these are the things that make us unique. However, we can't always be perfect. And every now and again, you're going to have one of those days or a string of days where we feel demotivated. We feel maybe, you know, a little bit depressed and sad. We may feel like we're a failure, that we suck, that we're not actually good enough. You know, we all have these days. I'm sure even the most successful people have had these days. But what this quote tells me is that Marcus Aurelius is saying, it doesn't matter what happened in your past. It doesn't matter what happened last week, last month, you know, last year. It doesn't even matter what happened 5 minutes ago. All that matters is the present, where you are now, and the decisions that you're going to make in the future. If you fell off the horse, you can get straight back on it and keep on riding. You know, don't allow yourself to feel that you are a failure just because, you know, you binge eaten for the whole day and you know, you feel awful because you've ate like so many bars of chocolate and crisps and everything is just bad. You've had ribs and hot dogs and chicken wings and all of a sudden you just feel an awful mess. Well, tomorrow is a new day. Maybe if you've done this by lunchtime, you can hit the gym in that day. You know, if not, wait for the next day. But you can get up that next day and go for a run. You can lift weights. You can do 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, and immediately you'll be back on the horse and feeling good about yourself. This quote to me says that we have our principles, but we must not allow them to just waste away. You know, we can always get ourselves back on track. My fourth quote in this video comes from Seneca, and he says, "He suffers more than necessary who suffers before it is necessary." For me, this quote is all about having discipline. It's about understanding short-term versus long-term and logically understanding in your head that the more that you leave certain things, the worse it gets. It's better to rip off that band-aid and just get on with it. You know, this quote to me says, if you are someone, let's go back to the eating habit again. If you were someone who was binge eating food every single day for months, maybe years, you're going to become, you know, incredibly large. You're going to become fat, unhealthy. You're probably going to get some, you know, sort of heart disease and possibly die an early death. Now that there is unnecessary pain. You don't have to do that. You don't have to cut your life short. You don't have to feel awful and out of breath and sweating and you know, have the additional pain of like no one ever like finding you attractive, and you may live, you know, alone and unhappy, and you know, all of these things have knock-on effects. And this is such a painful, you know, life to envision, that you don't have to go through that. That's not a necessary pain that you have to endure. What you could do is take the pain earlier on, you know, shorter term. Go to the gym again or eat healthy foods. You know, these are, you know, eating broccoli and all of these horrible vegetables. They're not nice tasting, but they are a short-term pain that in the long term are actually going to give you good benefits. Whereas if you decide not to eat the vegetables and reach for the chocolate bar, you know, in the long term, you're going to be kind of unhappy and have a bit of pain. This quote can be applied to so many different areas where, you know, you can decide to get up and do something about it, and, you know, don't let things get so bad to the point where you're actually going to be having life force its pain upon you. You know, you can decide to do things early on that allow you to prevent that. And, you know, those who are able to, you know, go through that pain and you know, understand that in this moment that they can take on this pain, and then in the long term it's going to actually disappear. You're not going to have to deal with a greater pain. Is actually a good thing, because I think everyone nowadays, including myself, we operate on pain and pleasure, and we always tend to go with the option that's pleasure, the one that's easiest, that's quickest, that's fastest, that makes us feel good. But ultimately, this may not be the right connection, the right thing we need to be doing. And so actually going ahead and doing the right thing in the moment is probably what we should be aiming to do a little bit more. Go ahead and check out some of the other videos on this YouTube channel. And if you want to see more stuff about Stoicism, especially some more quotes, and breaking down those quotes like I'm doing right here, be sure to give this video a like. If you do, if I see that there's a good number of likes on this video, or maybe even some comments saying you want to see that, I'll know to make that video. So be sure to do that if you'd like to see those videos. Thank you all for watching this video. I hope to see you in another video soon. Have a great day.